I recently bought a lens specifically for brick filming, a Pentax 35mm f3.5 Manualfocus screw mount lens, the important part being the Manualfocus. For those of you who don't know, the aperture on a camera is the opening in the lens through which the light passes, here. The aperture can be adjusted to let more or less light in, changing the depth of focus and the brightness of the image. Most modern lenses, like this one, the Canon 18-55mm f3.5 to 5.6 zoom lens, which comes kitted with the T2i and is used by many brick filmers, are autofocus, meaning the aperture is adjusted via digital controls on the camera. In these kinds of lenses, the aperture stays fully open until you hit the shutter, meaning it opens and closes every time a photo is taken. In many lenses, the aperture will not close the exact same amount every time due to slight imperfections, even if the aperture is set the same, which leads to light flicker in an animation. Now the aperture in a manual focus lens is set on the lens itself, manually, and therefore stays closed between shots. Because the aperture remains still, it does not cause light flicker. Here's a shot with the T2i kit lens. This is a low flicker environment, but as you can see, there is some light flicker. And here's a shot with the Pentax, which is very clean. Both shots were done with the same camera body and on the same settings and focal length. Although there isn't much difference here, the flicker will be exaggerated by a set made of very reflective Lego bricks. I realize that my comparison without a set isn't ideal, but I had to make do with the resources I had at the time. So is the difference big enough to make it worth buying a whole nother set of lenses? That's really up to personal preference, and whether you're having a problem with light flicker in the first place. Lots of things can cause light flicker, so it might be worth it to investigate whether or not your lenses are actually the problem. Even if you aren't having trouble with light flicker, and are just shopping around for some lenses for animation, I would encourage you to at least look into these old manual focus lenses. They're surprisingly sharp, and they tend to cost a lot less than a new lens. I hope this was helpful to someone. Thanks for listening.